A routine oceanographic survey off the Norwegian coast detects something that shouldn't be there: anomalous radiation signatures at 300 meters depth. The wreck bears German Kriegsmarine markings from 1945. For 80 years, we've been told a comfortable story. Nazi Germany's nuclear program was primitive, never a real threat. The program failed, the war ended, the atomic threat dissolved. But new analysis of recently discovered Nazi transport submarines reveals cargo that contradicts 8 decades of consensus. Lead-lined containers, uranium oxide marked U-235, and 67 tons of metallic mercury. What they found inside was evidence of how terrifyingly close Nazi Germany came to delivering weapons-grade nuclear material to Imperial Japan, and proof that the ocean floor has been hiding radioactive and chemical poisons for 80 years. If these Nazi uranium transports had successfully reached Japan in 1945, the outcome of World War II could have been catastrophic. Japan's Riken Laboratory was pursuing atomic weapons using thermal diffusion enrichment. German uranium oxide combined with Japanese research could have extended the Pacific War by months or years. The newly revealed truth exposes how close we came to a nuclear-armed Axis alliance. It reveals potential intelligence failures or deliberate sanitization during the Cold War. But there's an immediate crisis. These wrecks have been leaking radioactive material and mercury for 80 years. Fishing communities have unknowingly harvested contaminated seafood. Coastal regions show mercury contamination 4 times safe levels. The pure poison isn't just historical. It's an ongoing environmental catastrophe. For decades, Allied intelligence reports suggested Nazi uranium transports were captured or existed only in propaganda. Records were destroyed. Vessels disappeared. The Allies controlled the narrative. In 2023, a Norwegian-British oceanographic team using autonomous underwater vehicles detected unusual radiation readings at 300 meters depth, 60 kilometers off the Norwegian coast near Bergen. Here's where the story takes a turn. Remote-operated vehicle footage revealed U-864, a Type 9D2 German U-boat broken in 2 sections. But the follow-up survey found something even more disturbing: uncharted wreckage consistent with U-234, which had supposedly been accounted for in Allied records. Lead-lined cylindrical containers bearing Nazi scientific insignia lay exposed in the debris field, each measured approximately 23 centimeters per side. Stenciled on each, U-235. This was high-priority strategic nuclear material destined for Imperial Japan. The timing was chilling: April 1945, weeks before Germany's surrender. This was desperation. When radiation spectrometry results returned, the implications were immediate and terrible. Nuclear forensics expert Dr. Klaus Meyer: "We are looking at evidence that fundamentally challenges what we thought we knew about Nazi nuclear capability during the final months of World War II. Initial assumptions suggested the containers held raw uranium ore. After all, Nazi Germany never achieved uranium enrichment. The containers must have been mislabeling. Remote sampling, using radiation-hardened robotic arms, retrieved material samples. Laboratory analysis at Karlsruhe revealed results that left historians speechless. And get this: the cargo showed chemical processing far beyond raw ore refinement. Thorium-230 removal, elevated uranium-234 levels. Most shocking, plutonium-239 traces, created only in functioning reactors, were 10 times higher than natural background. Bottom line, this level of refinement and the presence of reactor-generated plutonium isotopes meant Nazi Germany had achieved limited reactor criticality that was never documented, or captured records were deliberately sanitized. The German nuclear program wasn't as primitive as Operation Epsilon transcripts suggested. Someone was lying. Declassified OSS documents from 2020 reveal that General Leslie Groves received intelligence in March 1945 about uranium shipments from Norway to Japan via submarine. He ordered the information classified above top secret. Why would Groves classify intelligence about uranium transports unless he knew they represented genuine danger? The real kicker is that families of German scientists detained at Farm Hall have begun demanding re-examination of the secretly recorded transcripts. They argue their relatives may have deliberately understated German nuclear progress to avoid war crimes prosecution. But here's where it gets complicated. Why transport uranium by submarine across thousands of miles? Who authorized Operation Caesar? Newly declassified Soviet archives with British Enigma intercepts revealed the mission was coordinated at the highest levels of Nazi and Japanese command. U-234 departed Kristiansand, Norway on April 15, 1945. Cargo: 560 kilograms of uranium oxide. Technical drawings: one disassembled Me-262 jet fighter. Passengers included Luftwaffe Lieutenant General Ulrich Kessler and 2 Imperial Japanese Navy officers. Destination: the Riken Laboratory in Tokyo, where physicist Yoshio Nishina was pursuing uranium enrichment. U-864, carrying 67 tons of metallic mercury in 1,857 steel flasks, departed days earlier on a parallel route. Mercury was essential for Japanese explosives manufacturing. Documents show Admiral Karl Dönitz personally authorized both missions. The Japanese offered payment in gold bullion, stored at submarine bases in the Dutch East Indies. What makes this particularly haunting? The 2 Japanese officers aboard U-234 committed suicide on May 16, 1945. Rather than surrender, they used cyanide capsules. Their final act demonstrated how seriously Japan took the uranium mission. When Norwegian environmental scientists began surveying the U-864 wreck site in 2003, they found something worse than expected: mercury contamination in sediment and marine life at levels that shocked toxicologists. Cod, cusk, and edible crab showed mercury levels 4 times the safe consumption limit. Chemical analysis across a 5-kilometer radius revealed the scope. Benthic sediment cores showed mercury concentration of 12 parts per million, 40 times background levels. The 1,857 steel flasks in U-864's keel are corroding. Current leakage rate: 4 kilograms of mercury annually. Total released since 1945, approximately 320 kilograms. The uranium oxide from U-234 adds another dimension: isotopic decay. Products are entering the marine food chain. Both mercury and uranium destroy kidney function. Laboratory studies show amplified damage from simultaneous exposure. Fishing communities along the Norwegian coast have been unknowingly exposed to this dual poison cocktail for 8 decades. These wrecks are environmental bombs. The Norwegian government spent 2 years debating remediation. Raising the wrecks risks releasing massive contamination. Capping them only delays the problem. In 2018, they chose capping: 100,000 cubic meters of sand and rock entombing U-864. But U-234's uranium containers remain exposed. Commercial fishermen, whose families have worked these waters for generations, now face catch restrictions and economic devastation. Björn Andersen, a 4th-generation Norwegian fisherman: "My grandfather fished these waters during the war. My father, me. Now I learn we've been poisoning our customers with Nazi weapons cargo for 80 years. Someone knew these wrecks were here." The most disturbing question isn't what was on these submarines. It's why the locations and cargo remained classified for so long. U-234 surrendered to USS Sutton on May 14, 1945. Its cargo was inventoried, the uranium removed. Yet the uranium cargo remained classified until the 1990s, 45 years. Recently, declassified documents shed light on the deliberate suppression. A formerly secret memorandum from General Leslie Groves dated May 20th, 1945. The uranium oxide seized from enemy submarine U-234 has been transferred to Clinton Engineer Works for processing. Classification: above top secret. Reason: disclosure that enemy possessed significant quantities of processed uranium oxide would undermine public confidence in Allied intelligence capabilities. The real kicker: British intelligence files declassified in 2022 reveal that Allied code breakers had intercepted German naval communications about uranium transports as early as February 1945. They knew about Operation Caesar. They knew the cargo. HMS Venturer was specifically positioned to intercept U-864 because of this intelligence. It achieved the only submerged submarine versus submarine kill in history. Allied forces knew about Nazi uranium shipments and chose to sink them rather than capture them, condemning the cargo to decades of contamination. Then they classified the evidence during the Cold War, revealing how advanced Nazi nuclear science would have complicated the narrative that American science was uniquely superior. It would have raised uncomfortable questions about Soviet access to German research. Dr. Cynthia Kelly, president of the Atomic Heritage Foundation, stated what historians now confront: the discovery forces us to completely reevaluate World War II nuclear science. The Germans were dangerously close to providing Japan with materials for atomic weapons, and Allied leadership knew it. The single most shocking finding came from the latest forensic analysis completed in December 2025. Sealed watertight containers recovered from U-234's forward torpedo room contained complete technical blueprints for a German nuclear reactor design, metallurgical analysis reports showing successful neutron multiplication, and most disturbing, a ledger documenting 664 uranium cubes in the Haigerloch reactor that achieved brief criticality in March 1945. Nazi Germany had a functioning nuclear reactor for approximately 18 minutes. This discovery fundamentally changes everything we thought we knew. Nazi nuclear science achieved reactor criticality. The scholarly consensus was wrong. The comfortable post-war narrative was incomplete. The pure poison wasn't just the uranium and mercury contaminating the ocean. It was the poisonous reality that Nazi Germany came within months of providing Imperial Japan with the knowledge and materials for atomic weapons, and Allied intelligence knew and chose silence. The key lessons are profound and unsettling. First, Nazi nuclear science was far more advanced than 80 years of consensus suggested. Limited reactor criticality was achieved and covered up. Second, Allied intelligence failures were significant. German uranium transports operated for months before interdiction. Third, historical records were sanitized to serve Cold War political purposes at the expense of truth and environmental safety. The enduring impact demands action. U-234's uranium containers still leak. Full remediation will cost over 200 million euros and take 15 years. Fishing restrictions have devastated coastal economies. The ethical considerations are complex. These are war graves. 73 German sailors died on U-864. Do we disturb the dead to remove environmental hazards? How do we honor those who stopped these shipments while acknowledging they created long-term contamination? What else lies on the ocean floor, hidden not just by depth and darkness, but by the deliberate silence of those who knew the truth and chose to bury it? If you found this investigation shocking, hit the like button and subscribe for more maritime mysteries that challenge everything we thought we knew. What other World War II secrets do you think are still hidden beneath the waves? Let us know in the comments below and share this video. This story needs to be told.